Hey guys, it's Michelle here, the founder of ihelpmoms.com, and I am so excited. Every Tuesday, I am bringing on amazing ihelpmoms.com sex therapist and the founder of Infinite Intimacy. Check her out on Instagram. It's amazing, amazing tips. And we are going to be talking about keys to creating a lasting, loving relationship as your family grows. And today's topic I'm super excited about. We are talking about how to keep your marriage and your relationship a priority over your kids. For a lot of moms and couples, this can be an uncomfortable topic, but after helping hundreds of thousands of families, I asked Rachel, what is the number one thing that you see in the couples that really go the long run, that have a lot of joy in their relationship, even over the course of their children growing and then leaving the home? What are those couples doing that have built that lasting love? So I want to get right into it today. Talk to me about how do we keep our marriage a priority with all these little people around us?
I know. So it's important to keep the relationship a priority because ultimately, you know, the parental unit is the foundation of your family, right? And like you just touched on, you know, your kids are going to grow up, they're going to go away. If you don't really take the time to stay connected with your partner, to continue to keep that relationship alive, you know, after 18 years, you're going to turn around, who is this person? I don't know. Because
which we hear from a lot of families that are, you know, separated or divorced or no longer together. That's really the route that it sounds like, is, you know, we hear a lot, I just fell out of love with them. So we want to help you guys stay in love even as your families grow.
Exactly. You know, so really taking the time, carving out time in your schedule to stay connected, to really, you know, be on the same page with your partner, because you are a team with your family, you know? So if you're on the same page, then it just makes everything that much easier.
Yeah. And I want to tell you, I can already hear the moms like, well, my husband's really busy, or I have all these kids. I get it. We own multiple businesses. I have 3 kids under 6 years old. Like, I promise I get it. So I always like to give real mom tips. And one of the things that I do is I absolutely every Friday have our date night in our calendar. At the beginning, when we were married just a few years, it was simple dates. It was like sitting outside together with a glass of wine, or watching a movie on TV together, or just spending dedicated time talking about us, our dreams, our hopes, our future. And now, as we're a little bit older, and we've been married 11 years, we really like to go have a lot of fun together. So whether it's, you know, we're going to Zach Brown concert coming up, or sometimes it's just simple and working out together, or going out to dinner together, we like to keep it fun. But no matter what, it is always scheduled in my calendar, and I'm emailing him, I'm texting him, I'm so excited for tonight. And it really just sets the stage that he matters. And it's really made for a fun 11 years. Not always easy. Marriage takes work. Relationships take work. So that's what we're talking about. So let's get into tip number 2, which is, what are some signs that you are experiencing disconnect?
So when we're getting so caught up in our daily routines, right? Taking care of the kids and work and our to-do lists and all these things that are going on, right? We're just skirting past our partners, not really paying attention to them, you know, then disconnect is happening. And it's happening all the time. Like you said, relationships take work, you know. If we're not making it a priority, you know, we have to make sure that we're connecting and reconnecting and staying, you know, together, then you can easily just drift apart.
Yeah, and one of the things that you said that I thought was really interesting, and this is why I love ihelpmoms.com experts that are therapists, that are certified. We're not listening to just other moms gossiping. We go straight to the experts. Is you said it can have a profound effect on our children. Can you talk a little bit about what happens when they see that disconnect between parents?
Well, you know, if they're experiencing, sensing that disconnect, you know, it can create maybe some anxiety. Then your kids, especially if it's, you know, it can get hostile at times, you know, when there's a disconnect, you're not on the same page, and then you're kind of bickering and quarreling, and depending on the age of your child, they might not understand really what's going on, you know, so it can create anxiety. It can create some negative acting out behaviors, you know, on the back end. So you're the role model for your kids. Essentially. So if you're not modeling a healthy, happy relationship, one that's full of love and connection and respect, that foundation, then they're not going to have a clear picture of what their relationship should look like in the future as well.
Yeah. And I know a lot of moms, the first thing that will come to your mind is, well, he's not reciprocating, or my spouse or my partner isn't doing this. We hear a lot of that blame game. And I really encourage you to read the book The Crazy Cycle. It was one of the first books that we read in our marriage when we got married, and it really helped me to change the perspective of stepping up, just being the bigger person, and stopping the crazy cycle. And sometimes the things that you do, the appreciation you show, the steps you take may not always be reciprocated, but I think it's super important to just be willing to step out there and put yourself out there.
Yeah, we can't fully control what other people do, right? We can only control our actions. So if we're taking, the reins and saying, hey, we really have to do this, even if they're not really on board, then eventually, they can start seeing the benefits.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so we're going to need 3 tips and strategies to keeping your relationship a priority, even as your family is growing, as your demands and maybe as your stresses are growing. These 3 tips, super easy to make sure that your relationship is growing as your family grows. So what's tip number 1?
So you touched on it a little bit. It's weekly date nights.
Yeah.
And you've probably heard it all the time, and you're like, oh, well, we have all these things going on. It's really carving it into your schedule, making sure that it's on the calendar, and this is a priority for you because your relationship, your family is established upon your relationship. So if you're not carving out that time, then things can get a little hairy, right? So, and it doesn't have to be the same thing every week, change it up, get creative, have, switch responsibilities. Maybe one week, one partner schedules the date, the other week. So that way it's not pressure on one partner every single week, every time.
And I will tell you, some of the things that we've done is we've switched it up and done like a lunch date while the kids are in school. We've done breakfast dates occasionally. Sometimes, like if grandma's in on Sundays, like we'll sneak out for lunch, or while she's swimming with the kids, like we'll just go and get a coffee. It can be so simple.
So simple.
But it has made a huge difference in just bridging our time together. So I love providing those action tips and real life mom tips. So what's tip number 2?
Daily check-ins, right? So if you carve out just 5-10 minutes, it doesn't have to be a long sit down, drawn out conversation, just, taking the time to sit down with your partner, make that eye contact, get a little close, and ask them, how was your day? Was there anything fun and exciting? Was there anything that was a struggle or a challenge? Is there any way that I can support you? Because just by making those small little check-ins, the little, hey, I'm here, we're together, it sets the tone for intimacy.
I love that. 2 of the questions that I always ask my spouse is, I always say, what was the best part of your day? And that makes for a really fun conversation. I'll admit, sometimes when we're both busy, I won't always remember to ask it back to him. So don't ever be afraid if your partner or spouse forgets to say, guess what the best part of my day was? Because we're super women, we do a lot in our days. So I also just encourage you, again, just stop the crazy cycle and just keep working at it, because it's worth it to make your marriage and your relationship a priority. So I love that. I think it's so important to connect. Don't be afraid to send those text mails, those emails during the day, just letting your partner know that you're thinking of them.
Little check-in.
It goes a long way. So I love that. And then tip number 3 to making your relationship a priority, even with kids and as your family grows.
Expressing love and gratitude. Right? It's so important. It's so easy to take our relationship for granted, to take the little things that are done, around the house for granted. Sometimes we don't even see the things that are being done because we're so caught, in all these other things that we're doing, right? But if we just take the time to kind of slow down, reflect, on the day, or, just on your relationship in general, take that time to express your love and gratitude, appreciation. Thank you so much for putting away the dishes. It was so helpful. It's just little things like that make a world of difference.
And I will tell you, when my hubby puts away the dishes, it's like I love it. It definitely is like fills my love tank to the brim. And so I always try to really thank him for those little things because it makes a big difference for me and making motherhood easier. So make sure that you are recognizing the little things. I love that. And, you know, here at I Help Moms, we are always studying the successful people, the people that have found deep fulfillment in their life. And there's one constant that I find in all the reading, all the research that we do, is that those people that are successful but have found happiness and joy and lasting relationships and love in their life, they all say it starts the day with gratitude. So every day when I set my feet down on the ground, I think about what do I love about my spouse? What do I love about my kids? And why am I excited and grateful for this day? Yes. And it sounds super duper simple, but I'm sure in your studies and all of the education that you've done as a therapist, what do you think about gratitude?
It's essential. You know, it's essential for our daily living, and especially, you know, our own self-care, which topic we'll talk about another time. But, you know, having daily gratitude lists, you know, just completely shifts our perspective from, you know, we can easily nitpick and, oh, you didn't do this and what happened here and I don't understand why this didn't get done, right? You know, that's just our lives. But if we make that subtle shift into things that are positive, things that are going well, things that you do love and appreciate, you know, it just shifts our perspective and gives us a whole new outlook. I
think we can all agree gratitude's free. It's going to provide us a lot of love and joy in our relationships, and it's easy, so let's do it. I like it. All right, guys, email us your questions for our sex and infinite intimacy therapist here. Every Tuesday we're coming to you, so email us at info@ihelpmoms.com. We want to answer your questions to help make motherhood easier, healthier, and happier. You'll remain completely anonymous, but we're here to be a great resource with our experts here. So email us info@ihelpmoms.com. Feel free to use the hashtag asking for a friend. We get it. All right, guys, we'll see you every Tuesday. Bye.